Hey guys, I am Jatin Bisht, and yes, the picture which you are seeing on the screen is the pic of the scanned photocopy of answer sheets of my class 12th English CBSE board exam, which I obviously got by participating in the CBSE re-evaluation process under the process of obtaining a photocopy. So definitely I have got to know all the mistakes which I have done in my English board exam, and I find myself a worthy mentor to guide you for English boards and help you to avoid the mistakes which I did in my class 12th English boards. Also, I scored 92 out of 100 in my class 10th English board exam and 90 out of 100 in my class 12th English board exam. So, without wasting any further time, let's begin with the video. So the very first section of your English core subject is reading section, which consists of 22 marks. So first let me tell you that this is not the easiest section and it requires lots of practice, lots of interpretation skill, and you have to understand the given data in a very less time and attempt all the questions, because now you have to understand the question, then in your own words you have to interpret the data and write the answers. And MCQs are also quite tricky, and you should have a very strong vocabulary to score full marks in this section. So please don't have this misconception that you can score 22 out of 22 by directly entering the examination and attempting this section. You have to practice at least 25 to 30 passages in your complete academic year so that you can completely score 22 out of 22 in your final exam. Okay, so initially what I did was I practiced the passages from sample papers, as the syllabus of literature was not completed from beginning, so I downloaded all the sample papers from CBSE official website and solved passages only the passage section, yani only the section A of all the sample papers, that is the reading skill, to make this section strong, because I was pretty sure that we can score good marks in writing skill and literature in a very less time. But this section is the place where most of the students lose their marks because of the vocabulary asked being very difficult, very deep down vocabulary is being asked, and a strong interpretation in the question answers and no direct answers being available. We have to understand the crisp, the summary of the passage, the values hidden behind the passage, the moral hidden behind the passage, the motive of the passage, then only we can attempt all the questions. That's why I also practiced at least 20 to 25 passages in my whole academic year, and I advise you to practice at least 25, okay, and more. 25 is the least limit, and then further sky is the limit. How much you can practice, but at least you should practice 25 passages for English. Now talking about the most required thing to score full in this section is vocabulary. You should have a very strong vocab section for scoring full marks. So telling you that how to strengthen your vocabulary, the very first option you are having is dictionary. This dictionary is easily available in market, known as Oxford Mini Pocket Dictionary. You can read these dictionaries from the beginning of the academic year. If you are following this dictionary from beginning of the academic year, learning 15 words daily, then only you can effectively complete this dictionary. But most of the students fail to do so. Even I was unable to complete this dictionary, so I read this dictionary in the beginning of the year, but I was failed. So what I did to boost my dictionary, so it was a wonderful tip given by ma'am that to read the chapters of our class 12 syllabus NCERT from Vistas and Flamingo. Yes, we had the book Vista and Flamingo. So my ma'am asked me to carry this dictionary to school, and whenever she is teaching the chapter from NCERT, then mark the difficult words, and whenever there is break or there is some free period or at home also, mark that difficult words and try to find the meaning from dictionary and write the meaning in front of that word in your textbook. It would do two works at the same time. Firstly, you will learn the vocabulary which should be used in your literature part, which would make your answers more beautiful and more attractive to the teacher, and teacher will feel that you have read the NCERT multiple times and written the answer in the bookish language, which will impress your teacher. Secondly, your vocabulary will also be boosted by doing so. So this is my first tip, that read the NCERT textbook of your class 11th and 12th syllabus and mark the difficult words from that chapters, and then find it from dictionary and write the meaning in front of the words from textbook, and you will learn new words also, and you can use that words in your examination also, which will make your answers more attractive. And secondly, it will strengthen your vocabulary. So these were two tips which you can follow. And one more optional tip to boost your academy is there is one channel for CUET English, CUET Ada 24/7, where there is one fabulous English teacher, Rebecca Agha ma'am. She teaches vocabulary in a very wonderful and crisp and easiest to the point way. There is one series in that channel named Vocab Rosanna by Rebecca Agha ma'am. So you can follow that series from start. This series has every edition 2023-24. Two editions are available, and one more word power dictionary, that version is also available. So you can watch that lectures with Rebecca Agha ma'am, which has each series has only 12 to 13 lectures, so you can easily complete in an academic year. Trust me, vocabulary building is the most important part to score 100 out of 100 in English. So if you will develop strong vocabulary, automatically you will score full in this also, and your writing skill and literature will automatically will take a boost up. So please focus on this tip, boost your vocabulary. I have told you 3 tips, you can follow either of them. And another thing, how to practice so many passages. Initially, I told you that I practiced the passages from sample paper, but later, when there were the time of pre-board, that is December, January, and February, at that time I ordered this book. Yes, this was also ultimate savior for passages. CBSE 10 sample question papers book by Oswal. I found this book quite effective. It was a wonderful book and to the point, according to the pattern book, and it keep updating every year. So whenever this year also this book will be released in September, please purchase this book and practice passages from this book, but not 2024 version, the new version which will be launched in upcoming September. So I also purchased this book at the very end moment, and I didn't focus much on section B and section C. I focused on section A mode. So I solved the passages one by one, each sample papers, only passage section I was solving, because I was preparing for other competitive exams also, and I was focusing majorly on my PCM. So that's why in English majorly I was focusing on my weak point, which was passage. So that's why I ordered this book majorly for passage. I didn't practice the whole year much for literature and writing skill. So I would suggest this book, because this was to the point, and even you won't believe that the questions, even the passage matched, the idea and the context of the passage in my final board exam matched from this paper exactly. Obviously the same passage can't appear in the board exam, it's like logically not possible, but very similar to this passage, a passage appeared in my examination. So this book was proven very helpful to me. Okay, so this was tip, and definitely buy this book. I will recommend you to purchase this book. It was quite useful for boards. And at last moment, it was also helpful in just reading out quickly the question answer portion, the literature portion. You can just go through many sample answers and the sample formats of writing skill written. Okay, so please purchase this book. It is not at all sponsored, it is totally my review which helped me to score this good in English. Okay, also many people say that there is no time in English when the passage seems very alright. Every time there is a situation where we find 2 options correct for a single question. So please, that's the problem, that's a universal problem, and there is no solution for this. As much as practice as you can do, that would be better for you to improve your first reading skills. So that's why practice as many passages you can. Definitely this problem, after that also this problem will not be completely gone, but you will gain that much confidence that you can select most appropriate one out of the 2 confusing options which you suffer. Okay, so I think that's it for your first section. If you follow these tips, then definitely you can score 20 or 22 out of 22. But again, I'm warning you, don't ever take the misconception that you can score full just by going in the exam and solving this. You need lots of pre-practice before the exam, then only you can exceed this first section. At an extent, I can say that literature section, by studying at the last moment, you can excel, but this section needs sheer hard work in vocabulary and practice. Okay, now moving towards the second section, section B, which is creative writing skill. So it is comparatively easy than section A, but it depends on your grammar and your English level. If a student has its grammar very perfect since childhood, then it's definitely the easiest section for you. You have to just avoid some basic grammatical errors like subject verb agreement, which is the most common error done by all the students. As a matter of fact, let me tell you that even I did the error of subject verb agreement in my final board exam because I saw my answer sheet, I ordered it, and what was the mistake in invitation? I wrote invite, and we had to write invites because the principal, staff, and all were the school was singular, so it invites has to be plural, but I wrote it invite. This was the mistake which I did. So very first, focus on your grammar. Your grammar should be very perfect. Don't be in a misconception that grammar is not present in your class 12th, although in the pure or raw form it's not present, but you have to show the application of grammar in the form of your creative writing skill. The grammar is strictly checked in your section B as experienced by me. I saw my answer sheet and most of my marks were deducted due to grammatical and spelling errors. You have to be very concise and perfect in your spellings, so use easy words, sentences, and spellings in your writing skill. They don't judge you for your good English, they judge you for your perfect English. Your grammar should be perfect. You don't have to show your high English standards, just you have to write proper, well defined, and efficient grammar should be used. That's the main point which would give you full marks in your writing skill. And the second important point is the format. You will be awarded most of the marks for format, so be very thorough and very updated with the format. Very important example is notice writing. See, in some years they used to place notice above and then the school name in the second line, but nowadays they are placing school name above and then notice. So these small changes you have to see. Now from where to see that how whether the writing skill syllabus format is updated or not? Check the sample papers. The sample paper which CBSE will be releasing for the academic year 2025-2026 or whichever year you are studying, check that sample paper and check what kind of format they are demanding from you. There is a website, CBSE's website, where there is an option of sample paper, and beside it there is an option of MS, which is marking scheme. So always refer to the marking scheme for English section. So check that how they are checking your paper, and you will be updated with the format there in the marking scheme. Okay, you can download it from the CBSE website. That's most important. Learn the format very nicely, and most importantly the updated format, because sometimes the format keeps changing or shuffling. So refer to the perfect format. And for your revision, I have a very great tip. See, I made this short note pages of the complete writing skill. Only these 3 to 4 pages contained a whole writing skill of your class 12th CBSE board. What I did was I wrote I wrote the format and some important words which can be used, so that I didn't waste my time in this section, because I was knowing that my time will be wasted whatever I will do, how much I will practice, but my time will be consumed in section A, which is the reading skill, because every time it is unfamiliar, anything can happen, so we have to be ready for some changes. So for section B we have to be very quick and very swift in the exam. So my advice will be rectify and learn some words already from be prepared with some words so that you can use these common words in your exam center. Like for notice, the amount for the trip is a nominal charge of rupees X, whatever charge you want to take, and nominal charge is the common word which you can learn. Interested students can give their name. Kindly contact the undersigned. These are the words which you have to be by heart with, and which is the must need in the paper, otherwise your marks will definitely be deducted. Similarly, for letter writing, I made this list of all the qualifications which are required for each set of degree, which because you have to make your table in biodata. There is academic qualification table. For that you should know the degree, because it will not be mentioned in the question. They will only ask you the post, but the degree required for the post should be known to you prior. So that's why learn all the degrees related with the courses, which will be very beneficial for you. I wrote everything in this page. If you want this page PDF, please leave a comment. And all the popular lines, this was very helpful for me in the exam, which led me to get very good marks. All these pre-learned, pre-prepared lines proved very helpful to me, that I would prove to be an asset for your prestigious hotel. I would wish to offer my candidature, this is in response, and XXX. These you should be already prepared with. Okay, and I begged best dash of the year, whichever profession they demanded dash of the year award for that. Okay, so this is the most efficient tip for your writing skills. See, for report writing I made, and letter to editor, some important words which can be used in every kind of letter to editor I have written. I think you should also do this. This is the most important point. If you understand this, then you are sorted and you will get a good score. Just, but important thing is just stick to the word limit. Don't write less than the word limit, and even don't try to write more than the word limit. Although if you write more than word limit, there is less chance of the score being deducted, but if you write less than the provided limit, then your marks will definitely be deducted. So be careful. One last time summarizing this: be very specific grammar, use the grammar very efficiently, don't mess up with subject verb agreement, singular with plural, plural with singular. This is the most basic thing. And spelling mistakes, presentation, remember where to make the box, read the learn the format very carefully, the degrees. And one more important thing for letter writing: you have a choice in letter to editor and this biodata one, I forgot the name, qualification, job letter. So always prefer job letter. Although job letter is lengthier than editor, but editor one has more chances of making an error. But here it is very easy to get 5 marks because it is already learned content. You have to actually learn the letter. You should know the qualification, you should follow the format, and definitely you will get 5 out of 5 because the lines which should be used in the letter are always repetitive in nature. So I would always prefer you to attempt job letter application, job application letter. Okay, that's it for writing session. It's the easiest one. And also for report and article, I would prefer you to write article because it is very freestyle. It has no tension of the format. Just you have to get the heading, then you have to write by whom, and then you have to start your passage, and then under article, then underline important words in the article. So I would prefer you to attempt article over report writing, and I would prefer you to attempt job letter over letter to editor. Okay, that's it for your writing session. If you follow these things, you can score very good here also. Now let's move to the next part. Also, one cautionary tip is time management. Time management literally kills. If you are lacking in your time management, then definitely you are at a wrong side and you may end up messing your English paper. So kindly manage your time well. Please decide prior to the exam, English exam, that whether you have to attempt first section or last section first. I would prefer attempting it in the actual order because section A and B is the unfamiliar parts where you have to be very creative and you have to think new ideas, which comes best in fresh in the morning. And when you deal with the unknown part first, then it becomes easier to deal at last with the known part, that is literature. Although literature is the majority part, but if you are swift in your writing, then definitely you can attempt the whole paper. But let me tell you why I got only 90 out of 100, because I messed up with the time, and due to which I did wrong with some known answers also. The answers which I was knowing, I was unable to express it properly due to lack of time management. I was like my condition was like that attempting the whole paper would be better than leaving some questions. That's why I attempted all the questions with expressing some questions less, which made me ended up getting 1.5 out of 2 in some questions and 4.5 out of 5 in one question, and it led to unnecessary deduction of my marks. So please be careful with my time. Be very swift at the 15 minutes reading time. Read the passage at the 15 minutes reading time, and start your passage and reading skill work in your 15 minutes reading time only, which would make you a bit swift. Okay, but I would prefer you to start the paper in the actual order only, because literature is the known portion. Even if you are lagging in your time, even if you have 50 minutes, 1 hour, then also you can complete it in a limited time, because that's the portion which you have already read. But if you attempt writing skill at last, then you may mess up with the format and you may not get good ideas and good vocabulary, which would affect your marks. Okay, now moving to the very last section of our English exam, which is literature. Now literature is indeed the easiest section, but kindly don't underestimate this section, because it is consisting of the highest weightage and the 50% weightage of your paper, that is 40 marks. And also it is only easiest if you are very much known and very much clear with all the incidents happening in the story, each and every context of the story. And in poems you are clear with all the moral ideas, central ideas, and summary of the poem along with authors of the poem, motive of the poem. If you are clear with all these things, then definitely it is easy for you. But my one very personal advice for literature will be, treat the extract based section same fear as you are having for section A reading skill, because although you have read the chapters and you are attempting MCQs of already read chapters, but these are always asked in a different or difficult manner where you can't assume, and sometimes you confuse the perspective of the chapter. So you have to practice a lot for extract based question only also. The only two things for which you have to practice a lot if you want to score 100 or even 96, 97, I would like to advise you is first section A reading skill, another will be extract based questions, because this is another part other than reading skill where you can lost maximum marks. Even I lost my maximum marks because of this section. So practice reading skill most, and after that this extract based questions, because extract based questions test your deep concept of the chapter read, and the deep analysis is done that what are your understanding of the chapter and whether you have correctly meant the moralistic and central ideas of the poem and the chapters. That's why practice a lot for extract based questions from such sample books. Initially you can practice from sample papers, and then at the time of pre-boards purchase this book and be thorough with this. Trust me, if you did this part well na, then no one can stop you to score 40 out of 40 in literature part. And another one important advice for literature will be write these answers in very much detail, because I have lost my marks due to not writing it in much detail. Some questions I got 4 out of 5, in this I got 4.5 out of 5. And also your spellings are deeply checked in each of these questions, so don't think that your spelling errors will be ignored by the teacher. No, they deduct half marks for your spelling errors under expressions. So you have to be very perfect with grammar and spelling in this part also, and writing skill also. Okay, so that is the thing which you should keep in mind. And also it should not be less than the word limit, then your marks will be deducted. If you are exceeding the word limit, then it's not at a harm, you are at a good side only. If you get a time, then underline the important words. If you're not getting the time, then don't do that. Also, this portion you can watch YouTube videos in one shots and then write in your own words. There is no problem in this portion, because I have seen many of my friends who did this and they got very good marks in literature. So you can watch one shots in YouTube and then write it, but just don't forget to include some of the keywords in the central idea of the poem, not just the incident of the poem. You have incidents of the stories and poems, you also have to write the central idea and the motive of the poem also, the moralistic values which are reflected from the poem, that also you have to mention. Okay, and you are done with literature portion. Doesn't need much guidance. This is the portion which is performed well by most of the students. Many students mess up due to reading skill, extract based portion of literature, and grammatical errors in writing skill. So please focus on that. Practice more and more from sample paper and new pattern books for section A and literature's extract, and you can leave writing skill and literature written portion for last moment, but this you have to be practiced from very starting of the year. If you are following all these tips, then you are good to go, and you will come back from English exam with flying colors. You will definitely be scoring a very good score in your English exam. My best wishes are always with you. If you have any doubt, please feel free to comment and I will ask all your queries. And also, if you want my answer sheet PDF, because I have my board answer sheet PDF, I ordered it. If you want it, you can leave the comment. We want to see your answer sheet. Please leave a comment. And also, if you want this revision sheet, this short note for writing skill, please leave a comment for this too. I will provide you it in through some or other medium. So that's it for this video. I hope I would be an effective asset for you in terms of English. Thank you, and please consider subscribing my channel.